LuoFeng's Heaven and Earth avatar is a life form at the early stage of the Divine Emperor. During the fusion process of the Heaven and Earth avatar with the Secret Treasure, Palm World, some of the most powerful beings on the land of origin could still catch glimpses of certain information. A stranger at the early stage of the Divine Emperor? Such a powerful secret treasure? Who else could it be but the galaxy ruler? There's no way the land of origin could produce two beings at the early stage of the Divine Emperor back to back. Haha, I still couldn't fool brother Emperor Qing. Luo Feng stood on one of the towering mountain peaks formed by the huge furry paw, revealing his true self with the mask disappearing. Oh. Emperor Qing also arrived at this mountain peak, laughing, such a powerful avatar, such a powerful secret treasure, who else could it be but brother Galaxy? Is this an innate secret treasure? Emperor Qing stood on the mountaintop, looking at the gigantic furry paw in amazement. This innate secret treasure is extraordinarily valuable. Placed in the infinite space treasure vault, it's probably worth 30 to 40,000 reward points. Luo Feng nodded. Based on his long-term research, while the secret patterns contained within this innate secret treasure are a bit inferior to special life remnants, it is still a secret treasure after all. Obtained from the dream domain? Emperor Qing asked. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. In all my cultivation till now, this is the only innate secret treasure I've obtained. I've been cultivating longer than you and have explored both the dream domain and the heavenly pillar realm for a long time, yet only managed to obtain 2 innate secret treasures in total. Emperor Qing laughed, and from my perspective, its value should be close to that of a special life remnant. Luo Feng smiled. It seems you're not planning to take this innate secret treasure out? Emperor Qing observed the scene before him. The vast palm world formed by the innate secret treasure was shielding Huyang City. Luo Feng nodded, not taking it out. This Huyang City can be considered the safest place on the land of origin. Emperor Qing commented, its isolation of causality is so formidable that even I cannot ascertain anything. With the help of the Eye of Life and Death, Luo Feng could discern the causal links between the creatures within Huyang City in the palm world and those in the outside world. But no other methods could probe it. Ho ho. 2 more figures approached side by side. They were the Thunder Ancestor and the Primogenitor Yan Feng. What an innate secret treasure. Primogenitor Yan Feng observed. It should be the paw of a high-level primordial life, nurtured for countless ages inside a world-level primordial life from the dream domain, forming such an innate secret treasure. Its value is comparable to a special life remnant. Primogenitor Yan Feng, you could tell this? Luo Feng was surprised. Having lived in this source world for several eras, I've seen my fair share of special life remnants and innate secret treasures. Primogenitor Yan Feng laughed. I've also heard similar rumors outside the source world. Naturally, I could deduce as much. The Thunder Ancestor, gazing at the furry paw, couldn't help but say, Galaxy, are you planning to sell this innate secret treasure? I can get you something suitable, a heritage that directly points towards the half-primordial level enlightened. Directly pointing to half-primordial heritage? Emperor Qing was somewhat surprised from the side, knowing well that heritage below the Divine Emperor level is common, but one reaching the half-primordial level enlightened is much more costly. Not selling. Luo Feng shook his head. When you plan to sell, feel free to contact me anytime. The Thunder Ancestor was patient. Having lived long, he clearly understood the magic of time. In the vast passage of time, a cultivator might change their mind easily. In the future, under environmental influences, this Luo he might very well decide to sell the treasure. Luo Feng looked into the distance and found that the East Extreme Domain Ancestor, Feng Shi, had also arrived. The godly emperors of the land of origin are all gathered here today. Luo Feng smiled. This is indeed an honor for me, Luo He. With a wave of his hand, Luo Feng conjured a cave mansion, tables, chairs, and had fine wines and fruits ready. Please everyone have a seat. Immediately, Luo Feng, the 2 Primogenitors, Emperor Qing, and the East Extreme Domain Ancestor, in total 5 people, sat down. These were the 5 most powerful beings on the land of origin. I've been guessing who the galaxy ruler truly is. I once speculated it might be Luo He, but Luo He is too young, I couldn't believe it. The East Extreme Domain Ancestor laughed. Who knew it was indeed Luo He? Luo He. Primogenitor Yan Feng couldn't help but ask, are you a reincarnator, or did you truly cultivate to such a level within just over 1,000 epochs? Looking at the cultivation paths and secret techniques of historical powerhouses on the land of origin, none match Luo He, so it's likely not reincarnation. The East Extreme Domain Ancestor shook his head. But the Thunder Ancestor laughed and said, perhaps a powerful being from another source world reincarnated here. While speaking, both Primogenitor Yan Feng and the Thunder Ancestor looked at Luo Feng. A powerful being from another source world reincarnated here? Luo Feng was surprised. Has this happened on the land of origin before? From the infinite space treasure vault, Luo Feng knew that there is a way to reincarnate into another source world. Not on the land of origin. Primogenitor Yan Feng laughed, but we've heard plenty in our journeys outside the source world. If you're not a reincarnator? The Thunder Ancestor couldn't help but say, Luo He should have gone through the cycle of rebirth to arrive at the land of origin, arriving first at Huyang City, being here for around 1,500 epochs. You've reached such heights. Such a short time, such strength, truly terrifying. Emperor Qing also marveled at Luo Feng. The 2 Primogenitors, Emperor Qing, and the East Extreme Domain Ancestor all felt that if indeed one cultivated to such strength in a short time, The growth speed would be terrifying indeed. If it were an old monster from another source world reincarnated, it'd still be understandable. Ha ha. Luo Feng laughed heartily. Just consider me as a reincarnator then. He was unwilling to explain or prove anything. Achieving such achievements in such a short time means that among the many source worlds, among countless worlds, one would be among the very top few. At this moment, the Primogenitors and the rest faintly felt, this Luo he might truly have achieved this through brief cultivation. That feeling left them deeply shocked. Such talent, such potential. At this moment, on the land of origin, the emperors and monarchs as well as numerous godly kings were speculating about the events of Huyang City. They implicitly guessed at a certain possibility. Emperor Yin, Emperor Shi and Emperor Wu gathered together. The true identity of the galaxy ruler is 9 times out of 10 that Luo he. Emperor Yin sat restlessly on the throne, his huge fiery wings drooping, his slender scale-armored tail swaying somewhat uneasily, while the flames on his body surged and twisted. Are you that worried? Emperor Wu said, just possessing a powerful secret treasure in the Huyang City area proves the galaxy ruler is Luo he? Sister Wu, didn't you see the power of that secret treasure? It has already reached the maximum potential of the land of origin. Emperor Yin urged anxiously, it even isolates causality more strongly than MT Letang. I can't sense any life within Huyang City at all. Emperor Shi, beside him, also nodded coldly, considering isolation of causality on the land of origin, MT Letang ranked first before, also known as the primary holy land. Now the isolation effect of Huyang City surpasses it. Treasures too depend on the wielder. Emperor Yin said, like Gui Su giving them powerful secret treasures, they wouldn't be able to bring out much power. Yet the power of that supersized paw, the owner of this secret treasure must surpass us in strength. An unprecedented powerful presence suddenly emerging on the land of origin, along with such a powerful secret treasure? Who else but the galaxy ruler? Emperor Yin pressed urgently, and those 5 interconnected mountain ranges have surrounded Huyang City for hundreds of epochs. Considering the rise speed of that Luo he. Considering how the former galaxy ruler killed the 3 kings of Shi Kingdom. Yet the territory fell into Luo he's hands. The galaxy ruler detests evil, and upon closely examining Luo he's growth experiences, he also detests evil. Emperor Yin anxiously added, combining everything 9 times out of 10, Luo he is the galaxy ruler. As the first emperor of the flame-wind ancient country, Emperor Yin could even unite 2 emperors, making their faction the strongest among many emperors of the flame-wind ancient country. Emperor Yan's vision was naturally sharp. He had long recognized LuoFeng's potential and wanted to suppress it a bit. Yet he never expected LuoFeng's growth to be so terrifying. Even if he is the galaxy ruler, what can he do? We haven't massively plundered countless creatures. Emperor Shi said indifferently, we don't share any major grudges with him. Emperor Wu, you have a major grudge with Emperor Chu. Emperor Yin pointed out. We haven't killed any tribespeople of Luo he, nor any sect disciples. Emperor Wu retorted, as for the feud with Emperor Chu is still doing well while I lost 2 children. I'm the one who suffered more. We are ultimately emperors of the flame-wind ancient country royal family, and the ancestor is benevolent. As long as it's not a monumental fault, they will protect us. Emperor Shi remarked to Emperor Yin, I understand your intention, you want to leave the land of origin? Emperor Yin looked at his wife, don't let others decide your fate. After determining that Luo he was likely the galaxy ruler, Emperor Yin had already decided. I don't want to go. Emperor Shi shook her head, I've heard outside the source world beings like us with only ultimate realm life forms are the weakest, the lowest tier. I'd rather linger on the land of origin for tens of billions of epochs than go outside. Emperor Yin did not continue persuading. If, when the land of origin approached extinction he took Emperor Shi away, she would surely be willing. But there were still tens of billions of epochs left. That's a long, long time, so it was indeed normal for Emperor Shi not to wish to leave. Elsewhere. Emperor Chu looked distantly towards the direction of Huyang City, where the supersized furry paw cradling Huyang City had a presence much more terrifying than that of MT Letang. To wield such a secret treasure and even reveal it openly without fear of being plundered by the Primogenitors, actively displaying it? Emperor Chu pondered, it should be the galaxy ruler. To show such methods and reveal such a powerful secret treasure purely to protect Huyang City? The emperors were not foolish. With LuoFeng's display in Huyang City this time, combined with traces from the past, it was easy for everyone to speculate a common guess. Perhaps Luo he is the galaxy ruler. Could it be that my disciple is the galaxy ruler? Could it be? Emperor Chu gazed into the distance, feeling a bit unsettled. LuoFeng. Emperor Chu suddenly contacted through the transmission token. Master. LuoFeng responded. LuoFeng, are you the galaxy ruler? Emperor Chu asked. Yes. I am the galaxy ruler, it was wrong of me to hide it from Master for so long. LuoFeng replied. Emperor Chu felt his blood boil, his head buzz with sounds. Emperor Chu was only able to cultivate a few ultimate realm secret techniques and refine himself into an ultimate realm life form, with the supply of resources from the Imperial clan, but the comprehension of the complete Great Tao was still an endless road away. As for leaving the source world to venture elsewhere? With his strength he would be at the very bottom in those places where the mighty from billions of worlds converge, and most critically, he has no clone technique. My disciple is above the God King level? How long has he been cultivating? Emperor Chu couldn't believe it. A tremendous opportunity had landed right before him. Master, I am currently accompanying the ancestors of 2 countries. Once things here are settled properly, I will visit Master and report everything in detail, Luo Feng communicated. No hurry, Master is not in a hurry, Emperor Chu said with a grinning smile. Among the emperors and monarchs of the land of origin besides Emperor Qing, the strongest individual was Emperor Ming. He preferred to keep to himself, and his relations with other emperors were quite ordinary. However, he regarded Luo Feng differently, and he admired these strongest individuals who had climbed up from the very bottom. During their interactions, Emperor Ming also gifted a calamity beast diagram, which was indeed his genuine spiritual will secret technique inheritance, aiding Luo Feng's initial will cultivation to a certain extent. Of course, Emperor Ming's path of spiritual will differed from Luo Feng's. Before their contemplation of the great Tao, both had already surpassed the godly king level in their spiritual will, even touching the limits of the spiritual might of the land of origin. Will Luo He become the galaxy ruler? At this moment, Emperor Ming was also somewhat surprised, truly an extraordinary talent. He was slightly shocked but quickly got used to the idea. Coming up from the bottom of a small universe, Emperor Ming had seen many formidable talents, many more outstanding than himself. Emperor Ming was in no rush, for he knew the path of cultivation was not about momentary struggles, but about the endless, long years. As long as he kept groping through the dark and moving forward, he would eventually travel further and further. Luo Feng, the ancestors of the 2 countries, Emperor Qing, and the ancestor of the East Extreme Domain, all 5 gathered together. If such achievements are made in such a short time, that would be too astonishing. Primogenitor Yen Feng looked at Luo Feng. You must surely be able to stand amongst the brightest ranks when competing against the mighties from billions of worlds outside the source world. Luo Feng smiled. Can they jump out of the braided cage? Primogenitor Yen Feng and Thunder Ancestor were both startled. Jump out of the braided cage? Suddenly everyone fell silent. This is what every cultivator groping in the dark yearns for, yet it's also the hardest thing. Just like fish leaping through the dragon gate to become dragons, or mortals ascending to heaven to become immortals, jumping out of the braided cage signifies a complete transformation. Difficult, 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 the ancestor of East Extreme Domain spoke. Even becoming a high-level primordial life by jumping out of the braided cage is legendary. So, even if one has greater talent, what of it? Luo Feng said with a smile, there's nothing to boast about. Those with extremely high talent, at least it's very easy for them to reach the half-primordial level, said Primogenitor Yen Feng. Like me, I have cultivated for several eras, and even now, I am only a late-stage enlightened divine emperor. I have abandoned the path of the enlightened and chosen the primordial bloodline, Thunder Ancestor added. At least for you, Luo He, walking the path of the enlightened should be relatively smooth to become half-primordial. The path of cultivation still needs to be walked step by step. Luo Feng also had a clear self-awareness. The super-secret treasure eye of life and death that he exchanged for, every exchanger in history was of extremely high talent, and out of the 12 exchangers before him, only one jumped out of the braided cage to become a high-level primordial life, and also died in battle. This Luo He, with such a dazzling talent yet so humble, not the slightest bit of arrogance, Primogenitor Yen Feng sighed inwardly. Such a cultivator is the most terrifying, always advancing step by step. Luo He. Primogenitor Yen Feng had naturally watched all the detailed intelligence on Luo Feng. He said, as far as I know, within the royal family of the Flame Wind Ancient Country, there seems to be some conflict between you and Dian Dishi Diwu? Luo Feng's brows slightly furrowed and he said, among them, Diwu and I indeed have a grudge. She once tried to threaten me by vowing to annihilate all the disciples of my Blade River Sect. Fortunately, my master Emperor Chu helped to block her at that time. The character of Diwu is indeed brutal and ruthless, Primogenitor Yen Feng nodded. Even against her own kin, she is excessively cruel, and she even ambushed your master Emperor Chu, causing Emperor Chu to fall into the polluted blood river. Emperor Chu was about to be contaminated to the brink of death within the polluted blood river, but by sheer luck, obtained an innate secret treasure, thereby escaping from the polluted blood river and surviving. Luo He, my brother, what do you think should be done about these 3? Primogenitor Yen Feng said. Since there's a feud, just kill them all, Thunder Ancestor said from the side. Luo Feng said, Diwu deserves death as for the other 2. Luo Feng, Primogenitor Yen Feng, Thunder Ancestor, the ancestor of the East Extreme Domain, and Emperor Qing, all 5 looked surprised and gazed far towards a place in the land of origin, where the teleportation channel of the land of origin was located. Diwu is arrogant and has always thought highly of herself, employing harsh methods all along, often going against her own kin, and the ancestors didn't care much. She thought the little clash with Luo He was trivial. Diwu doesn't understand. In the eyes of the ancestors of the 2 countries, we are all but ants. Dishi is too fearful of the world outside the source world. With such a disposition, even if he went out to venture far in the future, he wouldn't get far. Let it be. After making up his mind, Dian didn't hesitate any longer. A rainbow light, almost in the blink of an eye, crossed over a large half of the land of origin and arrived at the location of the teleportation channel. The teleportation channel of the land of origin was located deep within the Tianji ice field, where everything was made of ice, in an ice valley crafted from ice, sheltered by a formation incredibly stable. Within the ice valley was a dark, deep pool. Beside the murky deep pool sat a figure cross-legged, an avatar of Di Fu. He had been waiting patiently, waiting for Luo He to depart. Di Fu looked on in surprise. Only to see a flash of rainbow light in the sky, a figure had arrived in the ice valley. It was none other than Di Yan. Di Yan? Di Fu puzzled, "You're here?" Di Yan glanced at him, said not a word, and directly leaped into that dark and deep pool. The luminescence flowed within the dark deep pool, and Di Yan had already been transported out of the land of origin to beyond the source world. He left. Di Fu realized, this Di Yan is indeed decisive in his actions. He must have detected Luo He's identity. He didn't even bring his two companions, just slipped away on his own. This is very much in line with Di Yan's way of doing things. Ruthless to the enemy. Equally ruthless to himself. Luo Feng and his group of 5 would not usually care about the whereabouts of the countless creatures within the land of origin, but they were drawn to attention when a creature entered the transmission channel. Di Yan has entered the transmission channel. Luo Feng saw from afar the light rippling from the dark deep pool within the ice valley, knowing Di Yan had made his escape. He escaped really fast. Thunder Ancestor remarked with a laugh beside him, "Brother Flame Wind, this Di Yan is quite sensitive, detecting a whiff of danger and not hesitating to slip away." Luo Feng said, "Di Wu deserves to die, but as for Di Yan and Di Shi, the two of them only have some minor quarrels with me. Just expel them from the land of origin ahead of time." Although the two of them held a deep enmity with Emperor Guisu like a blood sea, with countless grievances on the land of origin, Luo Feng did not want to meddle too much. Great sinners he will not tolerate. As for any other grievances? Let those involved in the grievances fight it out themselves. Brother Luo He, Primogenitor Yan Feng said with a smile, "You're still too benevolent. If they offended you they deserve to die." No sooner had he spoke. An invisible wind brushed past, penetrating the bodies of Di Wu and Di Shi. Although Di Wu had many avatars, in this moment all were brushed by this invisible wind. The wind swept through her physical body and soul, causing Di Wu to naturally dissipate into nothingness, vanishing between heaven and earth. No. The very moment Di Wu was brushed by the invisible wind, she understood who was making the move. She understood then. In the past, the ancestor indulged her behavior simply because he paid no mind to the various conflicts on the land of origin. For the ancestor, across several eons he fostered countless kins. What feelings could the ancestor have for these kins? The ancestor placed more importance on the entire kin group as a whole. As for individuals? Erased just like that. It's all because of that Luo He. Di Wu understood her cause of death. Her only conflict with Luo He was the threat she once made. If he hadn't agreed, she would have annihilated the entire Blade River Sect and all its disciples. Once, she thought it was a trifle, for she had done much worse, having truly annihilated the full lineage of some godly kings, all creatures in an entire city and so forth. Against Luo He it was merely a threat, not enacted for real. I should have left. Di Wu regretted at that moment, regretting she didn't leave with Di Yan, but it was already too late. Her consciousness plunged into darkness. She was dead. Following Di Yuan, White Demon, and Lan Duo, another emperor has died. Why? When Di Shi was brushed by the invisible wind, she felt only immense anger. Although she had followed Di Yan and Di Wu in taking action many times and had many enemies, her enmity with Luo He was not that extensive. Why did Luo He still not spare her? Why did the ancestor carry out her execution? This Luo He is too ruthless. The ancestor is also standing with him. Filled with indignation and anger, Di Shi's consciousness also fell into darkness. Another emperor had died. From then on, with the successive deaths of Di Yuan, White Demon, Lan Duo, Di Wu, and Di Shi, a total of 5 emperor-level monarchs on the land of origin passed away, sending chills down the spines of the other forces on the continent, making them even less likely to defy the rules set by the galaxy ruler. With both ancient country ancestors standing with the galaxy ruler, who could resist? Just squash them like bugs, said Primogenitor Yan Feng with a casual laugh. Luo Feng also came to see that these ancient existences of the two countries, having lived for so long and experienced countless battles beyond the source world, killing 2 little fellows meant nothing to them. Life rises and falls, they've already lived much longer, lived better, lived more recklessly compared to the countless creatures of the land of origin, said Primogenitor Yan Feng. Now fate, with my hand, has merely returned them to the essence of the land of origin. Brother Luo He. Emperor Qing spoke from the side. The clone you displayed this time seems extraordinary. Has your secret technique seen fruition? Yes, nodded Luo Feng. My secret technique is finally complete. Preparing to head beyond the source world? Emperor Qing's eyes lit up. He had been waiting for this companion. Luo Feng nodded. Once the matters of the land of origin are settled, I estimate I will depart within a few eras. How many eras? Emperor Qing's face lit up with joy. When you set off, just send a message. Okay, Luo Feng nodded. The 5 present lost interest and quickly dispersed. Aside from Luo Feng, the other 4 mainly ventured outside the source world. At this moment in Huyang City, countless cultivators inside the city were in shock, staring at the gigantic claw lifting the whole city, with each of the 5 claws stretching out like 5 continuous mountain ranges. What in the world is going on? How did Huyang City start flying? The cultivators in the city, including the disciples of Blade River Sect, were both shocked and bewildered. The godly kings of the land of origin could guess some of the truth, but ordinary disciples of Blade River Sect had little understanding of the godly Qing tier, only knowing that their sect master, Luo He God King, was a very powerful entity in the land of origin, yet not as much as the emperors and monarchs of the two ancient countries. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Inside the grand hall of the Blade River Sect headquarters, the high-level members all gathered. Sect Master. Master. Luo Feng sat in the main seat with Morosa and others seated beside him, followed by standing figures such as Moyu Qingyan Xanyu, other Primal Chaos Realm elders, guest elders, and then a group of registered disciples. I've called everyone here today to announce a few matters, Luo Feng said with a smile. First, the enormous claws appearing outside are a secret treasure I refined, the palm world, isolated from the external world and causality, even the ultimate realm of God King cannot pry into it. Even the ultimate realm cannot pry into it? The hall was filled with the Blade River Sect's upper echelon, and they all realized the terrifying implication of this statement. The second matter, Elder Morosa, is actually a Pinnacle Sector Beast, possessing the strength of the ultimate realm of God King, Luo Feng continued. Many disciples in the hall were utterly baffled. The second master is a Sector Beast? Moyu Qingyan also stared at Morosa, unable to believe that his second master he met in Huyang City, who was always eating, drinking and incessantly teaching him cultivation, could exist at the ultimate realm of God King. Morosa blinked at Moyu Qingyan, and then glanced around the hall with a smile. I, Morosa, can finally freely display my strength. The third matter, Luo Feng said, I have another identity that is the Galaxy Ruler. Everyone in the Great Hall was stunned. Yuan was still calm, but the other elders and disciples were bewildered. He who set the rules of the land of origin, and even caused several emperors and monarchs of the two ancient countries to perish, the Galaxy Ruler, is my master. Moyu Qingyan Xanyu and many registered disciples felt their hearts tremble. Who is the Galaxy Ruler? The highest entities on the land of origin today are the three entities, Primogenitor Yen Feng, Thunder Ancestor, Ancestral God of the Galaxy. Yes, the countless cultivators of the land of origin now refer to the Galaxy Ruler as Ancestral God of the Galaxy, looking up to and venerating this Ancestral God of the Galaxy, who eliminated the threat of the great sinners. For weaker cultivators, the threat of the great sinners was immense. Living normally, one day the entire tribe could be raided and devoured, or even entire cities swallowed. This randomness of super disasters was what many cultivators feared. In the past they could only endure, deeming it bad fate upon encountering. But the Ancestral God of the Galaxy set the rules that eradicated this disaster, fundamentally changing the fates of countless creatures and naturally earning the gratitude of many. From now on, the territories governed by the Galaxy Divine Country, including the territory of Blade River Sect, will expand to encompass 1,019 primal chaos prefectures, Luo Feng said. Ever since he could stand shoulder to shoulder with the ancestors of the two countries, small countries around the Galaxy Divine Country also voluntarily pledged allegiance, expanding the territorial range of the Galaxy Divine Country. Further adding Blade River Sect's 155 primal chaos prefectures, officially breaking through 1,000 primal chaos prefectures. In all the primal chaos prefectures within the territory of the Galaxy Divine Country, Blade River Sect will set up branches, Luo Feng continued. The high-level members of Blade River Sect present realized. Blade River Sect might become the #1 sect on the land of origin. Like the two ancient countries, the core ruling power is the royal family. But within the Galaxy Divine Country, Luo Feng doesn't have a vast imperial clan lineage. Instead, he's fully cultivating the disciples of Blade River Sect. Without a doubt, the numerous disciples of Blade River Sect are the core force governing the vast territories of the Galaxy Divine Country. Blade River Sect's future status might rival that of the royal families of the two ancient countries. The news I share today does not need to be kept secret and can be told to all disciples within the sect, Luo Feng said with a smile. Yes, everyone in the hall responded. Luo Feng then stood up. Moving forward, the affairs of the Galaxy Divine Country and Blade River Sect are mainly overseen by the Ancestral God and Morosa. After speaking, Luo Feng stepped away and disappeared. Only then did the Great Hall relax. Second Master. Moyu Qingyan immediately approached Morosa. Father earlier spoke about Morosa? Morosa, Luosa are my names. I have been cautious in my actions to keep my Sector Beast identity secret, Morosa said with smiling eyes at Moyu Qingyan. Look at you, personally taught by a Sector Beast, yet cultivation is still so difficult for you. Moyu Qingyan now understood the incredible opportunity he had encountered. Great Master. Galaxy Ruler, one of today's highest entities on the land of origin. Second Master, Pinnacle Sector Beast. Being valued by Master, taught by Second Master, is my greatest fortune, Moyu Qingyan said. You should thank your father. When my master and I came to the land of origin through the cycles of reincarnation, the first cultivator we met was your father Moyu Hu, Morosa chuckled. Of course, among Moyu Hu's 3 children, Luo Feng chose Moyu Qingyan. Luo Feng arrived in Chu capital, paid a visit to his master Emperor Chu, and described some secrets from these past 1500 eras. Chu capital, Marquis Chu Yu's mansion. I won't see anyone. Emperor Chu Yu stood in the hall and scolded, no matter who comes to visit, refuse them all. Yes. The butler cheerily responded, immediately rushing out. Father, is uncle really the Galaxy Ruler? In the hall, the 3 youths were all extremely excited, and a dignified woman beside them was even more thrilled. Emperor Chu Yu turned his head to his three sons. This information has been confirmed by Flame Wind Pavilion. All disciples of Blade River Sect have spread the word, so it's certainly true. Father, have you contacted uncle? The oldest son asked. Quiet. Emperor Chu Yu scolded. Today must be your uncle's busiest day with his identity revealed. He must have many matters to tend to. Let's not disturb him. Also, remember I am merely a good friend of brother Luo He. You must not behave recklessly on this basis. If you bring disaster, no need for the Imperial clan to punish, I will take action myself. Emperor Chu Yu admonished. He knew the temperaments of his three children. Their father being an Imperial marquis from the royal family, they usually lived carefree. Now knowing that their uncle was the ancestral god of the galaxy, wouldn't they turn heaven and earth upside down? What your father said is right, you must not bring disaster upon us. The dignified woman also spoke. Although I have a relationship of affection with brother Luo He, such affection is ultimately limited and can be exhausted. Emperor Chu Yu said to his three sons, I certainly do not wish for your trivial matters to deplete the affection between me and brother Luo He. Father, rest assured. We understand, both three sons obediently replied. Emperor Chu Yu also felt helpless. Although he was talented within the royal family, his sons were rather mediocre. Emperor Chu Yu pondered, the hierarchies within the Flame Wind ancient country's royal family were strict. Emperors, godly kings, royal marquises, and even among the marquises, he wasn't equal to those transcenders of primal chaos realm. But now it was different. Who didn't know that he and the galaxy ruler were like brothers in life and death, the galaxy ruler being the first guest elder he had recruited. With this bond, even the emperors within the Flame Wind ancient country's royal family had to regard him seriously. Overwhelming wealth and honor are coming, I must remain steady, Emperor Chu Yu silently said. Not only must he himself remain steady, but he also had to watch over his three sons and wife, keeping an eye on the family. Emperor Chu Yu sat leisurely drinking in the cave mansion. Back then, giving Luo He a guest elder spot, Luo He also owed me a favor. This favor, its value must have increased manifold by now. Emperor Chu Yu poured himself another drink. No hurry, no hurry. It's only been over a millennium, and the value of this favor has already become so high. If it were tens of millennia, hundreds of millennia, the value of the favor would probably be different again. Emperor Chu Yu had never thought of using this favor. He was very patient. He would not use this favor unless it was absolutely necessary. He understood that the value of this favor would only continue to soar. Even now, thinking about getting a favor owed by the galaxy ruler, how difficult would that be? Even if it were a secret treasure above the godly king, the galaxy ruler wouldn't want to owe a favor, would he? LuoFeng announced the news to all disciples of the Blade River Sect, and also did not keep it secret, so naturally the news quickly spread across the entire land of origin. God kings of Yu Kingdom, members of the Reincarnation Tower, and others all sighed. In Flame Wind ancient country Huyang City. That idiot Zhang Yunj, that fool. Even with the best of temperaments, Wind Chapter God King couldn't help but curse now. A huge opportunity, and it was ruined by her. Her two mentors, one is the galaxy ruler, and the other is a Pinnacle Sector Beast at the ultimate realm of God King. How did she mess this up? Wind Chapter God King was frantic with irritation. Just a small opportunity slipping through the fingers of those two figures could benefit him, a first realm godly king, immensely. But now all was lost. Pass down the order. Wind Chapter God King was very displeased, feeling suffocated. He immediately ordered, completely expel Zhang Yunj's lineage from the family. Erase them all from the family records. At this moment, he didn't want that lineage to share any benefits linked to him being a godly king. That foolish lineage didn't deserve to enjoy any benefits of the royal family. Zhang Yunj's lineage still housed over a dozen eternal true gods, numerous true gods of void space and true gods. This lineage had long been marginalized, relocated to a common small city within the territory of Flame Wind ancient country, becoming the ruling family of this ordinary small town. What? Expelled from the family? Names removed from the family records? Impossible. The descendants of this lineage were all in panic. Without the protection of the royal family, they would only have themselves to rely on. Perhaps the more than 10 eternal true gods could still live comfortably, but the lives of other members would be far less leisurely. Yunj, we have been expelled from the family. These descendants here are just true gods of the void and even weaker true gods. Zhang's father brought a group of descendants to find Zhang Yunj. Zhang Yunj, in seclusion, looked at the tens of thousands of descendants brought by her father in a daze. Father, what happened? How were we expelled from the family? Zhang Yunj asked. You still aren't aware? Her father looked at his daughter. The second mentor of Moyu Qingyan, Elder Morosa, is actually a Pinnacle Sector Beast at the ultimate realm of God King. Her mentor Luo He God King is even the galaxy ruler. Zhang Yunj listened in a daze. Seeing this, Zhang's father sighed. I will lead tens of thousands of descendants to relocate, the rest of the descendants will be left to you. After all, as a disciple of the God King and having had a relationship with Moyu Qingyan, they are safer with you. Even if separated because of the past relationship, Zhang Yunj's place was actually quite safe. Even the most evil ancient existences would have to consider carefully. I understand, Zhang Yunj nodded, feeling a bit overwhelmed looking at the tens of thousands of descendants. Moyu Qingyan's great master and second mentor, are they the galaxy ruler and Pinnacle Sector Beast? Zhang Yunj felt as if everything was like a dream. She had once followed Moyu Qingyan to meet Luo Feng and also Morosa. but at the time had not realized anything extraordinary. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.